Hello, everybody. Now you can hear me, huh? Right? Hello?
Hello?
Oh,
Hi.
good. Now you can hear me. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, good. I can't complain. I don't know. I haven't left the house in about 6 months. Uh, and let's see who else we have. Below Jessica. Maybe it doesn't look that way to you. So I don't see the names of people. I see somebody with a mask. Thank you for wearing a mask. And I see somebody else, but like I don't have the people's names or anything like that. Maybe I have to do it a certain other way. But anyway, how's the course going? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going pretty well.
Good. And who else is here? Say hello.
Hi, I'm Brittany. I have my mask on because I'm at parent-teacher conferences.
Good. Thank you. And who else is here?
Lisa?
Oh, hi, Lisa Marsh.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm depending on to help me with this course. And who else?
Hannah.
Hi, Hannah. How are you doing?
I'm good. Do you mind if I eat dinner while we're meeting?
No, what you got?
It's a healthy steamer, just a microwave dinner.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm finishing up my dinner.
Enjoy. I think I'm going to go for some corn dogs. But anyway, so let's take a look at the course questions submitted. Well, that job was easy. Okay. I'm not that good. I know I'm not that good. There's got to be questions. It can't all be right. Is the course really that right? It can't be. There's no like confusion in any of the assignments.
No, my only I just wanted to talk about the personal learning network, but you had already mentioned that you were going to talk about that. So.
What about the position papers? Anybody curious? Oh, somebody wants admission. Oh. Hang on. What about those position papers? You guys okay with that?
Yeah, I forgot about those. Yeah, just kind of what exactly are they? I saw they're like 2 to 3 pages. So
yeah, let me see here. We go to modules. I'm not sure if I haven't shared. You can only see my PowerPoint, huh? You can't see my Canvas?
No, we only see the PowerPoint.
Okay, hang on. Let me fix that. I don't know how to fix that. New share. Okay. Can you see my Canvas now?
We can.
Yes.
Okay, so module 3, I think. Let me look at it again. It's like a thesis. Hang on. I don't want to download it. I just want to open it. Oh, okay. Let's see. It's something like I give you choices. You can make like you make a statement and defend it.
Ooh.
Hang on. Come on. I'm waiting for it to show up. Like, for example, medication is good for children with this. Okay, here we go. You make a statement like all students, regardless of disability, should be fully included in a general ed classroom. If you agree or disagree, all students should be educated in their least restricted environment. The discrepancy formula should be replaced, and why? Research-based interventions that improve reading, things like that. These are a lot of choices here for you. And you're gonna use at least 3 peer-reviewed journal articles, okay, to do it. The only thing I see here that is wrong is you're only doing 2 of these assignments, I believe.
Yeah.
not,
So basically, it's 2 to 3 pages double spaced, right?
that's fine. Yes.
Yeah, or whatever, and then just reference a few articles to defend your position.
At least 3 peer-reviewed articles.
Do you require a certain amount of citations?
No.
No?
I don't.
Okay.
Why are people doing that?
Sometimes.
Oh, you mean like instead of just citing the bibliography, you have to have like 3 footnotes or more like that? That's a good idea.
No, that's
Maybe I should torture my next class. I should torture my next class with that. Or maybe it's something I should be doing. I don't know, but no, we're not going to change the rules in the middle of the game. Okay, and you know, do something that you're passionate about. Like full inclusion would be better if I had planning time or something like that. Okay, here's Chelsea. Okay, so where are we? Other questions?
not yet.
Let's see. We'll look at that.
Other questions?
Let's see, person.
Are the like the 100-word response, is that just the response to the prompt of the discussion, or do you want us to respond to somebody else's?
Oh no.
Okay.
So take a look, Personal Learning Network.
Yeah.
And by now, you should have done your pre-map.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to watch it grow. And this is really good for, you know, I really got into it last term, and my students really got into it and developed networks and found new, you know, took trainings and all kinds of stuff. Pinterest is really good. And LinkedIn for some people, especially if you're looking for jobs, things like that. You know, getting to know people in the field that are famous. Like for me, a guy named Kurt Bonk, who has this monster website, and I'm going to be doing something with him on my blog next month. My community is growing. I have 102 people now, and going up to 10,000, or is it 10 million? I can't remember. You know, I don't know. You know, in order to tweet and be influential, you got to have like millions and millions and millions of people. So, you know, I'm building it. But anyway, like that, there's all kinds of really good things that have come out of this assignment. You know, I hope it, you know, does well for you. Are there any questions about it?
So basically, we just have to show what our pre-map looks like and then show that we added 5.
Now, let's take a look at some of the ones that have been done before. I didn't invent this one. This came up, a Kiwanis person in, where was it? In Iowa, turned me on its assignment. So let's see if I can't share it. How do I do that? Shoot. Oh, you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's the pre-map. And this person already did Pinterest.
Mm.
And then let's see. Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe they did it wrong. Maybe they didn't have it, but they obviously they have an account now. And then let's see, LinkedIn. teachers pay teachers. I don't have anything that I sell. Let's see. Obviously, Zoom is a topic today. A workshop that they got a certificate for. A training in Google Calendar. They became a level 1 Google educator. They liked this site, and that this thing grew. The only thing I don't like about this one is I require that that you have a certain number of linked sites on your post map. So, I mean, I'm just looking at these at random. Let's look at one more. One more. Let's look at one using Blogger. This one looks interesting. Oh, here's the initial map. Huh. Twitter. A training and growth mindset, I guess, or a website called the Brown Bag. Symbaloo. Anybody here use Symbaloo? Oh man, Symbaloo
I've
is
never
cool.
used it.
Check it out. And also I use, what was that one? EdShelf. It's kind of like that. Let's see. Somebody's blog. You know, obviously, and look, and here's some growth since then, but they're not clickable. So anyway, those are some ideas.
So
Does
we
that
need
help?
to have it, oops.
Huh?
Do we need to have at least 5 clickable ones then?
Let me see. Did I? Is that what I said on the assignment? Hang on. Let me see if I can find that again. What did I say? I can't remember. Okay, look again.
It says 5 various resources.
5 what? Oh, here it is.
5 various resources.
Okay. 5. Just 5 clickable things.
Okay.
Okay. All right on that?
Oh,
For now.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Dunn. What would happen if what would happen if they listened to him and we never made those kids eligible?
it would be a whole different.
Maybe I would have had to find something else to do for a living for 25 years.
It would just be an incredible learning environment. I mean, I could almost foresee, like, you know, how our pairs work with individual students almost all day in some cases. I could see that being where you would have them in the general ed classroom, but then you would have somebody always with them.
You know, when I entered my PhD program, I came in with the bias that LD was bogus as a field. It really didn't exist. At Riverside, one of my professors was a guy named Lee Swanson, and he was Mr. or Dr. Learning Disabilities, and I learned from him that I was totally wrong. That there are people that have serious learning disabilities, things like mirroring and just, you know, various forms of reading disability used to be called dyslexia. And it really is true that there are, I mean, this guy does, you know, meta-analyses for a living, and he's really good at that stuff. He's also a pretty good guy for a geek. But anyway, I totally got it wrong. There are. But that doesn't mean that the kids I had for 25 years were LD. That's a different story. Maybe we should have created a category called SLD, severe learning disability, or something to the effect, because my kids just basically came from holes in general ed. They weren't, I'm not talking about kids with intellectual disability. I never had those kids. I had kids who were taught in the wrong language and got behind. I had kids who behaved obnoxiously, or kids that were just behind in the right language because they didn't even speak the right language, perhaps. You know what I'm trying to say? So my kids were, they talk about the false positives, the false negatives. I mean, you can really, it's basically whoever the loudest teacher was, they got the kids in the program. And that's the truth. And sometimes I fudged and let them in or went along with it because I knew that if they didn't get my program, they weren't going to learn how to read. Like, for example, when I first got started, I learned about teaching Spanish reading, and I developed a reading program for kids in Spanish that a gringo can teach. I mean, if you can do third grade Spanish, you can teach it. Ma, me, mo, mu, and through the blends. And kids got in my program, they were non-readers in Spanish, and they left the program fully reading in a year. But they weren't LD, they just weren't dealt with in the program, in education program. You know what I mean? Is
It
anybody?
was situational.
Huh?
It was almost like it was just the situation that they were in. They couldn't learn in the current situation,
Right.
so the
Or
situation
some of
was
them
made
came from
better.
villages where literacy was not necessary.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, some of them, came from villages where they were perfectly we used to call it the 6-hour retarded child. I don't know if that's even used anymore. 6-hour intellectually disabled child. You know what I mean? We used to say that they only had a problem in school. At home, they were normal, quote unquote. So, but there are students that do have these clinical LDs. We also wouldn't get some of the behavior people. And I think that some of the LD kids were more BD than they were LD. So tell me if I'm wrong or you guys see something different.
Well, what I'm seeing, I feel like kids are getting learned helplessness. Like students I have right now, I don't know how to do this. I'm like, did you look at your notes? Like, they don't even want to look at their notes. And I mean, I feel bad if they truly don't get it. But if they just think we're going to give them the answers, I'm not going to do it,
Or you have kids that rely on the paraprofessionals all the time. I'm in a practicum right now, and there's this one person, and if her para isn't available or isn't there, she won't be there. And it's crazy because she's capable of doing the work herself. She just won't.
Is she a one-on-one?
No, she's in many general education classrooms. She just, yeah. It's weird.
And sometimes I think
A SPED para?
Yeah, it's a special education para. And so she follows this gal around and goes to the classes, and so I'm doing my practicum at Kearney High, and they do a program called PSD, Personal Skills Development. So these students will come down to have a more structured atmosphere to learn individually in. And also if they're just going through tough times, going through personal issues, they can come down and seek help so they can get right back on track to get through the school day.
They leave the class for that?
What?
Do they leave their classroom for that?
Yeah, they'll go in and they'll receive the general instruction and they'll come down. And then they also have
As needed, sort of as needed,
as needed, yes.
like
And
a
then
cool out room.
basically, yes. But it is also the dumping ground for kids who are not in PSD to go when they're having problems. So it's kind of a general dumping ground too. But there are some students that for one of the blocks in the day, they're in this PSD room. And then for other blocks, they're like in an English or a history class and they'll just come and go as they need to. Today, we had one student who I think he needed a nap. That was the problem, because once he had a nap, he was perfectly fine, ready to go. But they have a lot of problems, but they do learn that helplessness, especially with the para following them. Like this one individual, she just, the para's not there. I'm not going to be in school at all. I'm leaving. And she has her own car, so she just leaves.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. There's no financial. What's the word for it? We don't have like a financial test for getting sped services. You could be like rich and get sped services. Correct.
Yeah.
That's correct, right? I mean, I'm not saying anything that's not correct, am I? That's got nothing to do with it. If she wasn't in some way obnoxious, she wouldn't have that para. Is there
Yeah.
something about her behavior that's difficult?
I wouldn't say behavioral. I would say she's probably, I'm trying to think exactly, because it's just, she's been gone more times than there when I've been there. But I would say it's probably just to make sure she has that paying attention and.
Well,
doing
then they
her
must
work.
have a really good program at Kearney High. Do they have a good program at Kearney High?
I would say they have a good program, but
Yeah,
I do
because
think
obviously they're trying to deal with kids that are having difficulties in a somewhat creative manner. Is this a COVID? Nothing's changed with COVID?
no. I mean, other than masks, that's it.
Everybody wearing a mask?
Yeah.
Are they enforcing that, cooperating with that, all of that?
Yeah, the kids are all wearing a mask and they still look like ants in a hallway, but they all have masks on. There's no one that defies it. Once in a while, you'll see a kid put it down below his nose and you just have to remind them to put it above. But I think it just slips and they don't realize it.
And the administrators model that well?
Yeah. Yeah. I wear a mask all day when I'm there.
My friend Kevin Matson. Mr. Matson, Kevin Matson.
Oh, yeah.
Good. That's really good. I think that's really great. We don't see that kind of national leadership, but I'll stay away from that for now. But I think that's great. UNK is very supportive for us as well.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel safe there, Jessica?
I do. One of the people that are one of the non-students, teachers, paras, I guess you could call them, the staff. One of them did get coronavirus, but we all maintain social distancing and we all keep masks on.
Have you been tested?
No, I have not. I don't need. They told me I don't need to be tested because of the time frame, I guess.
That's good. My wife just got her third test.
Ugh.
It's kind of a horrible test. Lisa, what's happening with you guys with COVID?
Well, we've had a couple of cases. I mean, we have a pretty big district and I feel like it's pretty much under control.
What district is this?
Millard?
So you guys got a lot of paras and cafeteria workers, right?
Yes.
And counselors and janitors, custodians, and maybe even administrators and things like that.
Yes.
And are they all protected from COVID?
They are. I mean, our principal gets on the intercom every morning reminding the kids they have to have their masks on. We can't, get lax on it. We can't get too comfortable.
So you guys feel like you're being treated well as far as that goes?
I think so. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Like, we got to make the best of what we got.
Uh-huh. How about you, Hannah?
It's been pretty good. For the most part, we had 3 confirmed cases in my school last week, but they were all positive from what they had been doing outside of school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you?
That's what?
Where are you?
I'm in Bellevue.
That's a big place, right? Kind of big.
2 high schools.
Okay. I see. I see.
Middle schools, yeah.
'Cause there's a town called, is it Wilcox? One of these towns had it bad. Yeah. One of these small towns. Where are you, Brittany?
I'm in one of the rural schools in Columbus, Nebraska, and we wear masks all the time. We have one grade right now that it's spreading, and it's one of the grades I work with quite often, but I feel safe. Our cleaning staff does a good job. So
Right.
We
And
have to
Brandy,
clean.
how are you doing?
I'm actually in Wilcox, and it's not us that's having a bad problem.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, is that right? Oh, that's good. So
My
you
children-
know my friend Vic Young.
Oh yes, I love Vic. He was a principal
Oh,
when I
yeah.
started there,
He's a bum.
and his wife is the title person for our ESU district. So
Oh,
I
okay.
know her well too.
Oh, he's my friend. But he's a Husker, and I'm a Duck.
And you're still friends.
We got a problem. No, it's okay. If I had administrators like Vic Young, I might not have gone back to school and gotten my doctorate. And that's a statement about the administrators that I had, like 23 of them in my 25 years in LA Unified. Maybe 19 of them were bad, and 4 of them were in trouble. Something like that. What is there anything else, guys, or shall we go have an evening?
I
Is there-
actually have a question about one of the other classes I'm in with you.
Yeah.
So one of the things you've asked us to do is present in front of our faculty.
Oh, that's the practicum.
Yeah.
Right. or your church or your whatever.
Oh, I don't know. That one's got me nervous. I feel like our faculty is like overloaded with information right now. I don't know how receptive they would be to like an in-person thing. I could see them if I made a video and sent it out and they could view it on their own.
Why not? That sounds like a pretty good COVID alternate assignment. Sure.
You okay with
Do
that?
Do that, and then maybe it'll be good, and you can use it again sometime.
Okay. Thank you.
Maybe try to make it so it doesn't have like a date on it. You know what I'm saying? So you could use it again.
Okay.
We call that killing 2 birds with 1 stone, but that's no longer politically correct.
I had a question for you about that same practicum class. So I am doing the learning objectives for what is it? I'm looking at a person's IEP and I have to do learning objectives according to one of their goals. Do we just need to list those objectives in like 1 sentence, or do we need to describe how we would teach each of those objectives?
Like a 10-day plan, very general 10-day.
Okay, because I have like 1.5 lines of words for each objective.
Looking for 10 days.
Okay.
10 days of a progression of skills.
Because my objectives is a little bit different. It's basically comprehension. So I have 10 ideas, not so much a progression, but
That's
10.
fine. No, that's okay. They don't have, you're right. That's
Perfect.
fine.
Thank you.
Can we teach comprehension?
No,
Or is
but
that another subject?
we can teach them skills to increase their own comprehension, but that's kind of on them, it's.
I think it comes from laying on the floor as a kid, like reading a book.
Yeah, the more they read, And if we can teach them skills to help them learn more as they're reading, then they can take those skills and make it their own. And
Well, I think about history and how I hated history as a kid. It was just killed it by everybody who taught it. You know what I mean? But now I just, I thrive on history. I love it. And even historical fiction,
that's where I learned most of my history is historical fiction.
And I'm reading one. I had to put it down because I had to read an emergency trunk book, but finishing it later. It's called The Underground Railroad. It's not for sissies. I mean, it's written by this black guy who really describes how badly they were treated.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's not going to change. History won't change. And I got this Woodward book that I got to get through. So anyway, I better not. I'm going to get in trouble. I better let this go. So, talk to you guys later. Next session, huh?
Thank you.
Are we all right?
I think so.
Bye-bye.